Welcome to the lecture for February 11th, 2014. Today we're going to talk about compound assignment, unary operators, and a little bit of variable manipulation with regard to swapping variables, or the values stored in variables, I should say. Your reading assignment for this particular lecture is sections 3.11 and 3.12, 3.11, 3.12 of the DIDL Late Objects Edition, Java How to Program Text. It's not super important. Those are pretty short sections, but it might be worthwhile. So we're going to talk real briefly about some variable manipulation, about compound assignment, about unary operators, and about value swapping within variables. So all of these are going to be techniques that you can mostly already accomplish with things that you'll already know, but this way it'll let you go a little bit faster. So let's talk a little bit about variable manipulation real fast. This is going to be a quick segue, so we're going to do some review first. So right now, what we've done so far, we can set the values of our variables relative to other values pretty easily, right? So we can take some integer and set it equal to the result of some expression. We could take a different integer and set it equal to the result of another expression, perhaps involving our first integer. We can do these things pretty easily. In fact, we've been doing this all semester. Now let's say, though, that we want to modify a variable's value relative to itself. Let's say we have some variable called x that we want to increase by 1. One way we could do this, we're going to come back to the idea of swap variables later, but one way we can do this is to use a temporary variable to hold the result of the new expression and then assign that result in. But this is inefficient, so we're not going to spend too much time talking about it. The better way that we can do this isn't the best way, but a better way to modify a variable's value relative to itself, which is to say, like, we want to increase whatever value is there by 3, we want to increase whatever value is there by a factor of something, we want to divide whatever value is there by a factor of something, and then keep the result, right? We might do it like this, where we have in x is equal to 14, and then we can say x is equal to x times 3. What's going to happen here in this particular expression is we're going to take this x times 3, we're going to put whatever value is there, in this case of 14, we'll do our math, and then we'll assign the results to x. So we'll have x is equal to, in this case, 42. And here's what this looks like more strictly, right? So we have an integer called x, which we assign a value to, and then this thing in red, that's going to get swapped out for whatever value is there. In this case, we'll replace x with the current value. And then we resolve. Okay, so this isn't too bad. We can go a little bit faster with this, though, if we want to, by using the compound assignment operators. All right, so the compound assignment operators, this is just a slightly faster method of typing it. It creates the exact same results. It doesn't make your program any more efficient to run. It compiles the same way. The thing that's exciting about it, though, is that it lets you type a little bit less. So here are the compound operators. We have plus equals, minus equals, times equals, divided by equals, and mod equals. And so what we do is we take, and then some expressions that we might do. And what we do is we take whatever our variable is, we apply this operator using whatever number is on the other side, and then we take the result and we assign it to our variable. So x plus equals 3 is exactly the same as x is equal to x plus 3. Right, so we take whatever the result is here, and then we assign it back. X minus equals 2 is exactly the same as x is equal to x minus 2. X times equals 4 is exactly the same as x is equal to x times 4. X divided by equals 2 is exactly the same as x is equal to x divided by 2. And x mod equals 4 is exactly the same as x is equal to x mod 4. So these are all, it's just a slightly faster way of typing it. Right? Now the expressions here in this middle column are equivalent to their corresponding expressions over in the right column. It's just the ones in the middle column are a little bit easier to type, a little bit easier to work with. Right? Now you don't have to, you certainly don't have to at any point use these compound assignment operators. You'll be asked about them on the quiz, but as far as the assignments go, I don't actually care even a tiny bit if you use the compound assignment operators versus typing it all out. Both of these are pretty transparent, and a reasonably skilled programmer should be able to look at either of these and verify that they work. Okay, so we're going to take a quick look at some code. Okay, there's some compound operators. So we're going to ask for a number, and I've created an old integers old num and new num. Now old num is that's just where we hold the original value of the numbers. This way we can print it out without having to use a lot of print statements. We have lines like num plus equals 2. That's going to add 2 to whatever value is there. Num times equals 2. That's going to double it. Num minus equals 2. That'll subtract 2 from whatever value is there. Num divided by equals 2, and num mod equals 2. And then we'll just print out these results. So when we run this, it'll ask us for a number. Let's say our number is 7. Okay. So we've got 7 plus equals 2 gives us 9, 9 times equals 2 gives us 18, 18 minus equals 2 gives us 16, 16 divided by equals 2 gives us 8, and 8 mod equals 2 gives us 0. Okay, now the important thing that we need to recognize with the compound assignment, oops, that's not what we were looking for. The important thing that we need to look at with regard to compound assignment is that the thing on the left of the expression, let's say, that always has to be a variable. We're not able to, for instance, do something like 12 plus equals 7. We can't do that, because then what that would do is it would give us, we're going to take the result of 12 plus 7, which is 19, and then we can't assign that to 12. That just doesn't work at all. We can't say 12 is equal to 19. We can't assign that value at all. Which is to say that the thing on the left side of the expression absolutely, 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 absolutely has to be a variable of some sort. Very specifically, it should be one of the numeric types, though characters have some weird properties with regards to the unary operators and with regard to compound assignment. The thing on the left absolutely has to be a variable. This won't work. Lines like this one, though, that num mod equals 2 definitely will work, because the thing on the left is a variable, and then the thing on the right just has to be a number, really. Very specifically a number of the same or of a lower type, unless we're using unary casting, but we're not going to talk about that for a while. For right now, it just has to be a number. Okay. When we come back, we're going to talk about the unary operators, which is just a slightly faster way of doing some of the most common compound operator assignments, or compound assignments. So I'll see you in a second.